welcome back. We enjoyed a segment earlier with some terrific producers and filmmakers and actors, and one of them is continuing to stay with us. I'm James McGilbray. Sue Johnson is still with us here. And
they can't speak English tonight.
Doing a yeoman's work, I guess is the way it would be said. And we still have Kyle Carthens with us.
Yes.
And we'll talk with him for a couple of minutes. And also, new to the set for the moment is Stephon Davis, but certainly not new to Wake Up and Live. It's always good to have you here.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Stephon.
Thank you
Or
for
not
having me.
new to the Cleveland scene because he's been busy working, and that is why we asked Kyle to hang around for a minute, just because these two know each other and have worked together. But we got to turn Kyle loose because he's due on set over at the Ensemble Theater, and he has some traveling to do.
So let's just ask him one real quick question,
Sure.
because the reason for having him here, you were in Benevolent Strangers, was that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, I was.
And that was one of Stephon's movies. Can you tell me a little bit about your role in that so we can at least get that on tape for the record, and
Yes.
then we can follow up on that at a later time?
Benevolent Stranger, we shot that last summer. Last summer was a pleasure to be a part of. I watched it about, I think, like 4 or 5 times. I'll try and show, because I really don't have a lot of my work on like a personal copy of it to show my friends. So
Okay,
when I show people Benevolent Strangers, it's really like their first time seeing me perform outside of Crime Stoppers, but we don't really have lines. We just do reenactments. So it was a beautiful story, and it was about family. I would say it's more important to family. A young man dealing with the loss of his father, and just lashing out. He was just hurt and dealing with it the wrong way. But he has different people who are sent to him throughout his day, who send him a positive message and remind him of the morals that his father taught him through a symbolic gift that his father gave him. And just that alone, I knew that was something I could connect to and just have a lot of fun with. So I'm glad that Stephon cast me, and I'm proud to have it on the resume.
Well, one thing, and then we'll let you go here. I kind of have a little different approach in how I want to talk to Stephon today as opposed to how we normally do it. Just want to try a little something. And so kind of to lead into that, it involves kind of what you've accomplished, beginning there in a certain sense. And one of the things that I saw in your bio was an Emmy Award.
Yes.
Please tell us a little bit about that.
I won an Emmy Award in 2011 for the Crime Stoppers Case Files television program. I played a victim in that episode. It was Jermaine Mitchell. And what's so surreal about this story is after the episode aired, I found out that it was the secretary of my high school's son who was the victim who got murdered.
Wow.
And I was just coming to school one day. I think I was visiting the high school. So it was in 2011. I graduated in 2009, and she just gave me the biggest hug when I saw her. And I had no idea why, and I was like just overwhelmed. I was like, so she's happy to see an alumni? No, she was like, no, I just want to thank you for trying to bring closure to my family. You know, she was like, we've been trying to get this case solved for a very long time, and it just touched her, because you know her son's son, so her grandson is named Kyle, so that was a connection right there, and that I went to the exact same high school, and nobody knew about it because the secretary, she was a very professional woman, very quiet, and I, as a student, didn't know that this horrific thing had happened to her son. So the recognition for the Emmy, it means a lot. Especially for that episode in particular.
Well, so with that, we're going to let you go here. But the reason that I asked the question is that that award reflects a significant accomplishment and an impact that you have had in your creative arts career. And so that's where we'll begin with Stephon when we continue.
And we have an Emmy Award winner and a Rising Star Award winner. Oh, I can't stand it, honey. But we didn't do your monologue tonight, but we are going to have you back either before or after the Hall of Fame celebration. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you. And hopefully, I, along with you, our viewers, will get over to the ensemble and check out Macduff in Voodoo Macbeth.
May
You'll
23rd,
enjoy
May 23rd to June 8th.
Okay. All right. Well, Lester, pan the camera this way a little bit. That way, Kyle can sneak off, and you can start talking to our friend Stephon. Okay.
Thank you. Well, and so we'll continue, just as we were. And again, just to remind you, we're here with Stephon J. Davis. I'm James McGilbray, and next to the lovely, wonderful, talented Sue Johnson. And the reason that I asked Kyle about the Emmy, because it was such a significant thing, the subject matter, its impact, is that normally we'll ask the who, what, when, where, why, what are you doing these days and how, and tell us about it, where can we see you in the future, and so forth. I want to approach this actually from the point of view of the impact that you are beginning to have in the arts and in the community. And the reason for that, I will regress on this, but you're involved in a film now called Collision.
Yes.
I'm going to let you tell the audience what it's about, but I think when you hear the subject matter and the way that Stephon is going to approach it, you can see the potential impact that this is going to have. And we're going to highlight the impact of some of the things that you've done, not just the things that you've done. So tell us a little bit about Collision.
Okay, absolutely. Well, Collision is a drama/thriller, and the film is about a young woman. She's out, and she actually gets sexually assaulted while she's out. And she happens to be a nurse at a hospital, and her assailant gets into a car accident 3 years later, and he ends up in the same hospital that she works at.
Wow.
And so this, yes, and that's when it becomes more of a thriller at that point. But the reason why the film is powerful is because the majority of the film is more based on drama, and it's more about the exploration of dealing with that kind of trauma in your life. And so what we really wanted to do was be able to inspire and empower people that have been through these type of situations and this type of trauma. And so that's really the bigger component of the film. And then to make it also still entertaining and engaging and things like that, there is that thriller component, because at the end of the day, when your film is boring, then what's the point?
That's right, yeah, exactly.
I mean, you might as well do it, not documentary. I hate to say do a documentary, because documentaries can be good, but you know what I mean? A film is, it's fictional, and it has to be engaging and things like that. So we took the two pieces of that to make it a drama, but also make it entertaining and engaging as well.
Is this going to be a full-length movie for you?
This is a feature-length film, yeah.
Oh my goodness, and you're going to shop it around to TV like HBO or the studios?
Yeah, wherever we can get it at, but yeah,
whatever.
we're going to studios, some small theatrical releases, eventually probably Netflix, things like that. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And I think it's important to mention that right now you have an Indiegogo program going. You have 8 days.
The campaign.
Yeah, there are only 8 days left as of today. And so I suspect we'll have this up before that campaign ends. So I wanted to focus on asking people to please go on to the Indiegogo site. And it's hashtag Collision.
If you put in Collision, if you go to Indiegogo and you search Collision, then it'll pull up. Another thing I do is tell people to go to my website, which is stephonjdavis.com, and there's a link there.
And then contribute towards this fine piece of work. I can tell you, having worked with Stephon on a number of occasions, having been privileged to work with him, he is a significant member of the filmmaking community now, and doing some wonderful things, and deserves the support. So please go to stephonjdavis.com and see the Collision fundraising that's going on Indiegogo. Contribute, and I will say to you, because I wanted to say this on camera instead of when we talked earlier, I will be making a contribution this week myself, so I'll be walking the walk. Not just talking the talk. So,
would you elaborate, one of you, the other of you, so that the 5 people in our audience who aren't in the arts don't know about Indiegogo and what's the other one? YouFundMe? No.
Kickstarter, GoFundMe.
Kickstarter, GoFundMe. Elaborate a little bit on exactly what those are that we use in the arts.
Yeah, Indiegogo and the other ones, like you mentioned, are becoming very popular. They're crowdfunding sites. Basically, you can create a campaign, anybody can do it, and you just say that you want to raise a certain amount of money, and everyone gets an opportunity to contribute to that campaign, and there are rewards or perks, so to speak, that are attached to each dollar amount, and our denomination, anything from, people can do $1, $5, $10, $100, $1,000, and so yeah, you know, it's just a great way for everybody to all pitch in as a community and get a project going. But our goal was lofty, though. We were trying to raise 25 grand, so.
That's, yeah, you're right, that's a bunch.
Well, and
but we're going to hopefully get the word out enough where you'll get some more percentages.
As soon as millions of people see this, you know, we'll get that going.
Okay.
Well, and the acting community, I think what's important to know is that Stephon feels it's important that the people who contribute towards the project get some of the rewards from the project. It hasn't mattered how large or how small any of the roles that I've done with him. There's always been something, a little bit of pay, what he could do, because he values the people that are working with him. And so if you think you might have an opportunity in the future to work with Stephon, then you owe it to yourself to make it possible for him to reward the actors, the crew, and the people that are involved in this. And I want to say something about the impact, again, going back to that, the potential for this film. One of the things that's on your Indiegogo page is this, and it's about the impact. He says, and I'm going to read this word for word, it says, "This project is very dear to my heart, and I know it'll touch and influence audiences in a magical way. My hope is that it will be viewed all throughout the world. There are real social injustices in the world, and the film is a great way to bring these things to light and to help heal and transform the world." So you're thinking big. You want to make a difference here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's our assignment in a way, so to speak. You know, when you do a film, it's such a powerful tool, and it's such a way to create a message and things like that, that I just think it's up to us to be able to use it in the correct way.
Okay.
So,
Do you believe in the film festival, Sundance, Toronto, Cleveland, all of them also? And if so, are you going to be submitting Collision to them?
I do. I think that they're a good way still to find distributors and things like that. So I think it's a great way to still connect with people.
Okay.
Well, one of the other things that you've done that has impact, and again with this theme, we did a project. It involved life insurance, but specifically as to how African Americans plan for their futures, and that was it was called Let Down or Legacy, and it was actually funded in part by New York Life. And tell us a little bit about what the idea behind that concept was, and what you think you accomplished with that project.
Yes. Well, I was approached for the project, and I did create the script, but he kind of gave me what he was looking to do, and that was to, like you said, be able to get more African Americans more aware of their financial responsibility as they get older, or even if they're not older, just the fact that, you know, one day we're all going to be deceased and we're going to pass.
I'm not
as
going.
I know of, you know.
I'm staying here.
There could be some people that live forever, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
And I,
Here I am.
as it so happens, I was the one who died.
yeah, and James did.
But at least it was after the credits had rolled. I just want to make that clear. Please, I'm
so
sorry.
yeah, it was, you know, definitely a way to show that we have to, you know, make sure that we take care of our loved ones, and kind of like you said, the walk and the talking are two different things. So if you really care about your loved ones, then you should be able to make sure that they're going to be taken care of when you.
That's right, because my character had not done the planning that needed to be. Tell them a little bit about that and why that is important to the African American community.
Yeah, so we had two different scenarios, and the one showed when the father was not responsible. He just refused to go ahead and get that insurance like he should have, or at least take care of it. And so once he passed away, the family was just, they were distraught.
And suddenly he
in
passed
ruin.
away. It was
Financially
unexpected.
devastated.
Yeah.
A heart attack, and you know, no one can really know when that's going to happen to you. And so they were just in some really bad shape. They had nothing really, and that kind of situation will become homeless in the streets. You know, when you have a breadwinner and he passes, then that's just it. You know, you have to figure out a way to try to scrape money together and things like that. Even the funeral cost alone can be tremendous. And so what we also did was the flip side of that and show what happens when you are responsible and you contribute money into an investment for you know, life insurance, and then how that can be such a huge blessing for that family and how they can be able to still continue to live and prosper and thrive.
Where did you get your sense of social consciousness, which is really high level? What was your inspiration or your personal experience to get involved with this type of filmmaking?
I've been on a personal journey for a lot of years now, probably like 20 or so like that. I've just really got into a lot of different books. Started reading a lot of personal development and self-development books and things like that. Got into a lot of spiritual books as well. And so for me, it's just been this constant journey of growth and to become better, and you know, seeing the world and how, you know, we can make a difference and make it a better place and things like that. And also try not to necessarily see the world as bad, so to speak. You know, I think that there's plenty of good in the world as well, and we just have to be able to see that and foster that and put our focus into that so that we can make that grow more as opposed to the negative things.
Wow, he is really highly spiritual. He's
Absolutely.
highly evolved. Yeah, because he's more than about the slasher movies.
That's right.
Now, granted, many independent filmmakers start with slasher movies, you know, but your journey, as we say, has evolved to the point where you're doing some really class work, and that the whole community and even wider, hopefully, will know about the work you're doing.
Thank you.
That's right, and that was why I wanted this theme of, you know, what is the impact? Not just I've done this project and this project and this project, and I have one more. We were involved in a short film called A Gracious Tip, and that dealt with the subject of racism. And we had an event at Tri-C, which is Cuyahoga Community College, for those of you who are familiar with our area. And it was held by the Student Peace Alliance. Karen Posner was the one who was holding it. And basically this was the students could get credit for attending this forum that you participated in, that Brian Anderson and I participated in as well. Tell the audience a little bit about what that forum involved and how you think it may have made a difference.
Yeah, sure. The films we showed was, like you said, A Gracious Tip. The other one was The Day of Racism. And got the students had a chance to sit back and watch these movies and show. For us, it was a way to kind of express what does happen to today as far as racism. Particularly in Gracious Tip, it was more of a focus on you know, prejudice and stereotyping, and so we wanted to be able to highlight that and show that, you know, people have to be able to see, you know, ourselves in a different light for one, and other people have to be able to see other people in a different light as well. And so I thought that was good for the students. They had a great time to be able to sit down and you know, and really talk about the racial issues and things like that. The other film, A Day of Racism, really showed just how when you are, you know, in that mindset, how things can just go,
Absolutely.
just kind of get crazy and things. And so I thought they were pretty powerful. You know, to be honest, racism is still alive to this day. I mean, I would love to.
Really?
I mean, I would love to pretend like it isn't.
I wonder if it happens on the West Coast.
Yeah, I wonder if it happens in sports.
I mean,
Things like that. Just a question.
Yeah.
Very relevant topic even to this day, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sadly, we make
Yes.
fun of it, but yeah, it happens to be poignant. Actually, because of the fact that, you know, people, if they see this a year from now, may not know what we're referring to.
But there'll be something that's going to be happening, I'm sure.
Oh,
Right,
yes.
but this was the situation with the LA
Particularly
Clippers and their owner, and a very racist rant that he went on, and of course the Commissioner Silver today basically banned him from the NBA for life, sending out a very serious message to the public that we are not in a post-racial society, as so many people, you know, would like us to believe. Those issues still abound, and there still need to be remedies for some of those issues. On the other hand, progress is being made, and in particular because of people like you, Stephon, who highlight these issues, show how they impact upon other people in a creative and entertaining way. And that's, again, why it's always so exciting to have Stephon as a part of this program, because I think you're just beginning to see the scratch on the scratch of the surface of the work that this good man is doing.
Well, hopefully that gives us another reason or purpose for our being here, is to help showcase and celebrate our local talent and help get the word out and have people see what they're all about, and to appreciate the work that's going on here in Cleveland and that's having national impact. So before we wrap up for tonight, what is your name, child? Stephon.
Yes.
I can't do anybody's name tonight. As we begin to wrap up, what's on the horizon for you and your projects? What's coming up next that we should be on the lookout for? And seems like it probably will again address some sociological issue, probably.
Well, I know we'll be working on Collision for a while because, like you said, it's a feature film, so it's going to take some time. So I haven't really figured out what the next film for sure will be, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be a suicide, because that's been a big issue as well. And I've already talked to someone that's pretty big in suicide, Alive on Purpose, the company that they run, and they wanted to kind of connect and do a suicide film. So that'll probably be the next film. I try to always make them something that's going to be dynamic and powerful and be able to really help and influence people in a positive way. But like I say, definitely look out for Collision, because as you mentioned, that one's definitely, I feel like it's going to really impact people, and it's going to be. Oh, actually, I just spoke to someone on the phone earlier today because they saw it on LinkedIn, and they had some things like that happened to them, and they were just really excited about the opportunity for this film. What it's going to do for the community and things like that, and they were just really just wanted to call and just talk to me a little bit about it, and they really just were just happy that a film like this was going to be made.
Do you have? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, please.
Do you have an anticipated release date based on where you are in production and post-production and fundraising and submitting it? Do you have?
I'm kind of hoping to be done with production by September, and the editing process will probably take another few months. I would love to get it out maybe January, to be able to have it fully done and get it out there fresh for the new year.
Well, then tell the audience what they're going to have to do to help you along in that process.
Well, yeah, definitely. You can go to stephonjdavis.com and go to the Indiegogo site, contribute anything, 5, 10, 25, 100, 10,000 if you got it, or 50,000 if you got that.
And we're just throwing out numbers for the sake of throwing out numbers. These aren't recommendations or anything like that, but just whatever you can contribute, it's gonna make a difference.
Definitely.
Well, while everybody's contributing to his project, we're going to encourage folks to please think about supporting our Wake Up and Live with the Arts and Wake Up and Live's Actors Studio, because this is a community service program, and so we don't charge for our guests, and we try to videotape them and promote them. So if you're interested in supporting what we're doing at Wake Up and Live with the Arts, contact us at wakeupandlives.org and go to the donate button, and you too can donate any amount. We're appreciative of anything.
Absolutely.
We're just like that.
That's
yes,
right.
We are. Okay, let's begin to thank you and get your contact information so that folks can reach you directly, and your company. So we need phone numbers, websites, email addresses, all that jazz. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. stephonjdavis.com has everything on there. But also you can reach me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff through Stephon J. Davis. You just put the slash in there. Number is 216-798-5036. Email is the same, stephonjdavis@gmail.com. But also we have inspiredpictures@gmail.com as well. And to find out the Inspired, it's spelled a little differently.
Yes, it's a creative way of...
There's a Y there as opposed to the I for the Inspired towards the end there. But
we'll have all that on the screen for you. Yeah.
Well, Stephon, again, always a pleasure getting together with you. Wishing you the very best. Like I say, you've got my word. I'll be making a contribution towards the project. Hope everyone else will follow.
And I got you on camera here saying
that
too.
There's no question about it. That's why I wanted to do it. Didn't want there to be any question about it. And we look forward to seeing what you do in the future. I have a feeling that, again, you're just getting started. So thank you again for
why I love the idea
of
is I'm sitting here before he becomes Scorsese, before he becomes Spielberg.
Before we have to travel to Los Angeles to interview him.
Yes, and pay for it ourselves. Well, no, you'll be so rich by then, you'll bring us in.
Take care.
All right.
Well, we thank everybody who's been on the show this evening, and please check out our YouTube clip and be certain to see Stephon, where you can really enjoy this segment and learn more about, what he's doing in the film industry. And if you can't reach any of our guests, always feel free to dial us. See, now I said that's stupid. Email us at wakeup4664@aol.com, and we will put you in touch with any of our guests. And certainly you can learn more about who we are and what we do by going to our website, www.wakeupandlives.org, and just hit the donate button when you see that. We love to have your contribution. Before we go, James, thank you. We want to wish Lester
Brown.
Lester Brown. Meet Mr. Brown. It's called Lester H. Bryant Sr., who's going in for a procedure tomorrow, which will make his his video work, even more crisp.
Chris. Just like that wonderful speech of yours.
Yeah.
Best wishes, Lester.
Yeah, so hang tough, buddy. We'll see you pretty soon. Thanks, Stephon. We'll see you soon again, too.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.